Okay, these are going to be the last components that I'm going to add to my Hobie Compass. Today I'm going to install the power pole micro anchor with the mount designed specifically for the compass, the mounting system that I use for the anchor wizard, and an anchor trolley as well. Follow along. The parts you're going to need for all this install. For the power pole, Hobie now makes a power pole mount for the compass. I will provide all the part numbers and descriptors of everything that I use here in the descriptor box. They also make a anchor trolley specifically for the compass. So you'll need those. Of course, power pole micro anchor. And some YakAttack gear track. And to mount to the H-rail, I use this YakAttack bar mount system. Unfortunately, I don't think they make it anymore. So if you can find a distributor out there that still has some left in stock, scoop them up. I happen to find some, so I scooped them up. So, YakAttack gear track. And to mount the drop off or the anchor wizard at the front, I use a small 4-inch piece. And then of course when I go through the hull, and if I've got anything that needs to be fairly strong, I always use aluminum backer from the backside, so that I'm not just using nuts and bolts going through, which can pull out. So that's what I do use, just a piece of aluminum stock that I've drilled and tapped. My one secret with regards to the gear track stuff, I buy a 16-inch piece and I cut it to the lengths that I need. If you price it out, you will understand why. I buy a longer piece and then cut it down. It's a little more economical that way. We'll start off with the anchor trolley system. Unlike the pro anglers, the compass doesn't come with the molded in fasteners already on the kayak. So Hobie designed the anchor trolley system for the compass utilizing well nuts. So you just drill a hole through, screw these in, and as you tighten them down, they expand and hold themselves in there. Hobie recommends that you install the cams 12 inches back from the bow and the stern. Guys, use a tape measure for this. We're not so good on knowing exactly how long 12 inches really is. Take your anchor trolley cam, position where you think it will best. Make sure you keep it above the water line. So I kind of like that position right there. I'm gonna use, if you can get a marker, you got a long enough marker tip that can get through and mark your parts there. I'm just gonna use this as my mark. Trade drill, give myself a little mark. I'm gonna switch over to the 3/8 inch drill bit. Is the size for the well nut. Oh, get the first one in. I like to install one well nut first and then get things in place to line up my second hole. That way I'm assured that everything's gonna work out the way it should, and everything will be aligned, the holes will be lined up properly. Okay, put our guide bit in. Get in there, make sure we're lined up properly. Okay, switch back to the 3/8 bit. Throw a hole over there. Now we'll go through with the 3/8. our second wheel nut in. We'll just secure them both. Okay, once we get that secure, we'll move up to the bow. So we'll just repeat the procedure up front here. Now we'll just get our trolley to the length that we need. I prefer securing my lines with hog rings, just crimping those around, and then I like to put some double wall shrink tube over top to cover those up. Normally I'll pull these apart as well and redo them so I can get shrink tube over top of them. I prefer looping my bottom line through the rings. This will prevent the line from sagging as well. It'll keep both lines together, so it'll keep your secondary line, I guess you could call it, from sagging. The one thing I recommend is when you're figuring out your length and you think you got it tight enough, go a little bit tighter. I find that the line will stretch a little bit over time, which will give you some sag in the anchor trolley. So I usually put it a little bit tighter than I think it needs to be, because it does stretch a little bit over time. Okay, the last thing we have to do is just to install these little eyelet posts, which sort of just guide the anchor trolley, keep it above the water line. Hobie recommends that these be installed just at the ends of the paddle groove. So we'll put one here and one over here. And there you have it. That'll complete the anchor trolley install. Now we'll move on to the anchor wizard install. Like I said before, I have these YakAttack bar mounts that I purchased a while back. If you can find them, I suggest this mounting system. I found to be the most secure and stable way of mounting the actual anchor wizard to the bar. But you can utilize the Hobie accessory mount with another plate, and there's some other ways of fastening it, I guess, but this is the method that I prefer. So let's just get this on the rail so that we can get things lined up. Your anchor wizard will come with a bunch of stainless steel fasteners. For these, to fasten it onto the YakAttack, just slide these in. I carry a T-handled Allen key for the proper size for these in my hatch bucket with me at all times, so it gives me makes it easy for me to install and take it off when I want. So there's multiple holes in the anchor wizard, so if you want to change the angle in which the line comes out, it makes it easy that way. There we go, nice and secure. Now we'll move on to the drop off. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to install the drop off, the anchor wizard drop off, onto the gear track, so that we know the position. So we're going to play with this a little bit until we get it to where it's going to drop over the end. So once we've got everything in position where we think the drop off is going to work the best, and we've got a decent place to mount the gear track, let's just mark our holes. Let's just get a drill out and drill our holes. Okay, once I get one hole drilled, I kind of like to put one bolt in and then get a second one drilled. Drop a bolt in that way. And that way I know my holes won't move around on me and I'm lined up properly. In order to do this technique, you would have to have moved the round hatch up front to give yourself some access up here. Here you have it, all installed. Let's test it out, see how she works. Well, I'm happy the way that works. Here's the crank, release. There we go. And then back up. Perfect. The last thing we need to install is the power pole. Oh, here's the Hobie power pole mount. First thing we're going to do is put the power pole mount on the Hobie mount. That's mounted. Next we got to remove the handle at the back for a minute. Remove the two plugs from the inserts. The kit includes a couple extra bolts. Kit has two extra bolts, longer bolts to reinstall the pad eye for the handle. And two bolts for the front with washers. Just tighten everything down. Throw the power pole on. There you have it. Alright, that'll wrap up the anchoring portion of my Hobie Compass. I hope you found the video useful, and as always, thanks for watching.